we got some Stars hockey. We are on our end. We'll call it Stars hockey. I imagine you'll call it Golden Knights hockey.
Right.
But we've got some Western Conference Finals hockey going on. Like, what is the action looking like on
the buzz
on
in
hockey,
Vegas? Yes,
on hockey betting when we get to this level of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, talking about the particular series between the Knights and the Stars, very interesting betting pattern so far. We opened the Knights a slight favorite for the series. It was $1.40. It got as high as $1.55, but over the last 24 hours, we started to receive a lot of Stars action, and it's driven the line all the way down to 135 on the night. So our opening number was 140, but now it's down to 135. So it's pretty balanced, but I'm a little surprised. I mean, especially where we're located here, that we've received that much Stars action, on the series. So Dallas is getting its own support, not only in this jurisdiction, I should say, other jurisdictions and other states that we operate in 7 other states. We've seen some Stars money come in on this series price.
What has been the reaction to the Golden Knights being back in the Western Conference Final, looking to this time do what they couldn't do in 2020, get past the Stars and get themselves to a Stanley Cup Final? What's been the feeling collectively there in Vegas around this team?
Well, they're brimming with confidence right now. They've, the big hurdle there, everybody was pointing at was the Edmonton Oilers. So everybody's reminding them about what happened in 2020. Everybody's reminding these so-called, they're hyper fans right now. They are ready to go. And everybody that has 2 feet on the ground has said, guys, be careful. The Stars are very, very well balanced. They have 4 lines they can stick out there. And I think they were 3-0 against the Stars, or 3-0 against the Knights this season. Plus, in 2020, they couldn't get by them in the bubble. So the Stars have somewhat had the Knights number in recent years. And then you got the Peter DeBoer. He's got knowledge of how these players play, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. So I can understand why some of those sharp bettors out there have bet Dallas in this series.
Well, you're a big Vegas guy all the way around, and one of the things I wanted to talk about, and my partner knows this, we started talking about stadium financing and things. My ears perk up. It was brought to everyone's knowledge, public knowledge, that the A's are, looking at possibly moving to Vegas. And recently we learned that the city of Vegas, or the municipality locally, was only willing to put in a certain amount compared to what the A's would require or want in order to build a stadium there in the general area. Like, what is the local perception on the idea of the A's coming to town for Vegas?
It's pretty interesting because there's so much coverage on that, and it's difficult to filter out what's accurate and what's not. And you have polls that say 70% of Las Vegans are in favor of the stadium and are willing to pay $400 million worth of tax funds to support the stadium. And then you have others that are completely opposite of that. So it's really tough to get a gauge of where I'm probably, like most things, is somewhere in the middle there. So the city is, I know a lot of the city officials are excited and willing to move forward. I'm not sure about the number 400, million dollars public money to support the stadium, but they certainly want a Major League Baseball team here. They have concessions on the ownership of the lot that they're looking at, which is on Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana Avenue, where the currently the Tropicana Hotel and Casino is located.
I believe that's Valley Gaming that has the relationship there.
Yeah, it's a perfect location, and the backdrop would be the Strip, as it would face from southeast to northwest. That would be perfect for the viewing area, but it's all going to come down to how much are they willing to pay or commit, as far as public funds towards the stadium. And the reports, guys, I get out there are just very inconsistent. So we'll just have to wait and see. As a baseball fan, I'm very excited to have a baseball team here, but I'm not sure if I'm all in favor of
Right.
400 million public funds going to another stadium or
Now
ballpark.
We're talking to Jay Kornegay, he's the VP. Oh my goodness, I did the KG thing, right?
Wow.
VP of Race and Sportsbook
Wow.
Operations at the Superbook. Yeah. I got it. It took me a second, but I would like your personal opinion here, because one thing I think about Vegas is like, hey man, there's always something going on. And with baseball, there's just so many games, and particularly with that organization, the ways that they have, maybe not always spent all the money or done the things to build a team that is constantly contender. How do you view the idea of the A's being the team in Vegas, considering that there's always another game in town or something bigger happening? Like, what are the prospects of this in reality in your mind?
Even though I love a baseball team, here in Las Vegas, A's wouldn't be my first choice.
Right.
I mean, looking at their history, and it's a little concerning because Vegas is a very small market when you talk about a pro, city, a pro franchise city. It's probably about 2.3 million, not counting the tourists, and we understand the factor that they would play in building a ballpark here and moving a franchise here. But if they don't have success on the field, I'm very concerned. I'm just not sure if they would support it. Now, if they try to win, that's a different story. But if they don't and just try to produce, listen, I'm a Rockies fan, so I know all about just building a team,
shipping Nolan Arenado down the river and such.
Get it? I was like, I just don't want to go down that road again. But they're very fortunate in Denver. The Monforts are, because the venue is so fantastic, and it's a family atmosphere, and they still get 30,000 fans in there, even though they're going to lose 100 games this year. However, I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with that in Las Vegas, even counting the estimated 400,000 fans that they anticipate coming in from out of town to for each season for baseball here in Vegas. So I'm not convinced, guys. I think they would have to produce a winner, a consistent contender for it to succeed.
Texas Rangers opening up a series against the Colorado Rockies starting tomorrow. So we'll get to see Jay's Rockies take on our Texas Rangers starting tomorrow and over the weekend. Final one for me before we let you go here. It is a big weekend, not just with the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup, Western Conference Final there between the Golden Knights and the Stars, but it's also Preakness weekend. So if you've got, a little bit of advice for somebody who may be looking to, maybe lay some money down, Mage is a...
You asking the house to give some advice here?
Well, no, I'm just saying, we got the expert here, so, just trying to maybe see if we can help out some people. Mage, the Kentucky Derby winner, 8-5 favorite, number 3 post on Saturday. What are you looking at when it comes to the Preakness this weekend? Well,
first of all, I'm a little disappointed on the field and, horse racing in general, because here you got Mage was a 15-1 favorite, or 15-1 odds, I should say, not favorite, 15-1 odds to win the Derby, comes in, cashes in. All right. Obviously moves on to the Preakness. However, none of the other Derby entrants moved on to the Preakness. It's not like, you would see that when you have a dominating horse or no one run against that horse, but he was 15-1, going, into the gate. And so I'd like to see a bigger field, but here I'll give you Mage. I got to go with Mage. I got to go with the Kentucky Derby winner, even though I don't really like that price. So I'm going to probably throw him in a few exotics, mix it up a little bit, and see if I can catch a price there.
All right. You got that?
Wow, you actually
good?
Look. I'm
Jay, trying to look. We are a complete
surprised.
sports show here. Okay, so we got the Preakness this weekend.
No,
we gonna cover it all here.
I appreciate the horse racing. I just like he's trying to make sure that they win. His money is invested in the house.
Jay seems like a man of the people.
Jay is a man of the people. And I appreciate Jay giving us that.
Us out.
Jay, this is a fantastic interview. You give us great information and perspectives as always. I was just surprised KG was like, I'm going to put you in this place to go against
I knew Jay
the
can handle it.
workplace.
My man can handle it.
That's
I knew he can handle it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can handle horse racing because you know what? It's strictly commission for the Las Vegas sports books. They're not going to win or lose. They get strictly commission on handle for horse racing.
Wow.
So even though I give out winners, which I rarely do, but
you're welcome, KG.
It's great. It's a great product for the operators out here in Las Vegas because we get strictly commission. It's about 19.5% of the handle. And it's a no sweat situation for all the bookmakers out here. Sports is a different story because it's us against the patrons out there, but horse racing, strictly commission. So I can give out a few winners on the horse racing side. Sports side, maybe a little different.
All right. Well, we appreciate you doing that and more, talking to me about the A's, talking to my guy about the Stars. It's always great to have you on, Jay.
Thanks, guys.